thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my actions. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief? They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my actions. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. 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 I'm in a hell of a hole. Was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road. That a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every crack and surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now. You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. 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 Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Just dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. There was design 5 for our babies to pass through in the day of our king's reign. I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
All right, shalom. Shalom. Oh shit, ain't nobody in the class yet. Go ahead and rock it out.
From Westworld. Let's get it. Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make more. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Scammer who? They ain't stop making guns when they made yours. Sick with it, feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the beast loose, but they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage, I just rage war. So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Still against all enemies. In high school, you was the man, that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing, dog, I plan to keep. You lose your mind where I'm from, I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul, losing time, wasting steady pacing. You off track, I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping he can save you. But the power about war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason. Got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest. They gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. One West world, bigger than World War III. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains, so when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have a deep squad. Been rapping since knee high. Now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire, when you hear it, you get baptized. One West world, yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down so the haters see the glow. Let's have a feast, let's shine on our enemies. Right in their face, let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we have, but we come from half knots. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started from the bottom, birthed out of mud, raised by gangsters, turned out a thug. I ain't give a fuck, burnt out I was, from hitting licks in and out and selling nicks in the drought.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Salakia Israel, had my mic on mute. Okay, Tawada, Crystal Morris, Shalom Yahweh, Shamal Alathah by Shem Yahweh Shai to you. Lewis Garden. Okay. Shalom Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah, Shaya Ra. Shalom. Yahweh Shamal Alathah by Shem Yahweh Shai. Salakia for that. You can see my lips moving, but no words. Okay, so we'll start over. Okay, Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're under commanding General Yohana, and we're not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. This is the ISUPK Florida law class. Every Wednesday, we come on the airwaves and we teach Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people that the laws of their God are not done away with. Okay, the laws of the niggers, Hispanics, wetbacks, so-called, native savages. You have a God, a separate God, not the God that you share with the Edomites. The God of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian is a holy God to you. Okay, he doesn't love everybody. He chose you. And with that, you should choose him. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, if you have a question on the law, pertaining to the law, go ahead and drop it in the chat and we'll try to answer it. Okay, and if I can't answer it tonight, I'll get the answer from a man that is preferred before me. Okay, so with that, the law, okay, the law is almost pretty much the bedrock of the relationship that we have with our God. He basically gave us rules, laws, statutes, and commandments to live by. And he said if you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, that he would put you above every other nation. Okay? We actually, when we first, agreed to this, we were the ruling class people of the earth, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And then over a course of time, we stop keeping the laws and we go into captivity, which is known as slavery. Okay, modern day terms is slavery. But as God's chosen people, since we first went into this covenant with the God of this universe, we've been in and out of slavery. Okay, so we're right back again. Here we are, the year 2023. We're in captivity again. But most of us, we don't know that we're in captivity. We think we are in a society or in a reality where God just loves everybody, and all you have to do is trust him and believe in him, which I don't know what that means, because to believe in God is to believe what he said. And what did he say? Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. He gave you laws. And I dare anybody to show me where he said you didn't have to keep the law anymore. Okay? So he gave us laws. And that's what we are supposed to believe in and live by. If you believe in God, you should believe in his word. You should believe in what he tells you, what he says. You should believe in what these records say, okay? And these records say that God, the God of this universe, the living God of earth, space, third and fourth dimension, he chose a people to serve him. He chose someone to serve him. He chose a family to serve him. Okay, there's many families on the earth today. Biblically, there's 11 nations or families on the earth. And the family that the power of the universe chose was the family of Israel. Okay, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Who knew that, the people that the whole world hates is actually the people that God loves? So with that, like I said, he gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. He gave us rules, okay? And like I said, those rules vary from what food you can eat all the way down to who you can sleep with, okay? The God of this Bible, the God of the Bible, actually destroyed the earth because we did not keep his laws. In the time of Noah, the power that chose the Israelites, the lost 12 tribes, he destroyed the earth because his people, or the people he chose at that time, did not keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Now, those people were descendants, real close descendants of Adam, okay? You got Adam, and then, it gives you the bloodline all the way up to Noah. And then when you get to Noah's time, we stopped keeping those laws that our power had gave us to make us a civilized people. Adam was the first civilized man on the earth. God raised him up from the dust, so he did not behave like a beast or an animal. He gave him laws, statutes, and commandments, taught him how to till the earth, to garden, to grow things, so he didn't have to be a beast and just be a low state. God raised him up to be civilized, okay? And after that, Adam taught his sons and his daughters, and it continued on up into Noah's time. And by the time Noah's on the scene, we are totally going off and not keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. And that's why there was a flood, because God basically wanted to destroy the whole earth because we were not keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay? So the big part of that is it tells you basically that we started sleeping with other families. Okay? Like I said, there were people on the earth at that time. Different families have already been established in the earth when God chose Adam. And we decided, instead of staying within our family, we decided to go outside our family. And our power, our God, destroyed the earth because we decided that we did not want to be holy anymore. We did not want to be separate anymore. Okay? And those same rules apply today in 2023. Okay? Your power wants you to be separate and holy from everyone else. Okay? And what I intend to do tonight is pull out a couple of scriptures, and we'll read about how our power intended for us to be separate. Okay? Up until 2023, today, he still requires for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people to be separate. Like I said, those laws consist of from what you can eat to what days you can observe to what people who you can marry. Okay? And these records say that we cannot marry outside of our family. Okay? So if you are Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, we need to come out of the concept that is being pushed on us by Esau. Because Esau is the only family or nation that actually halfway pushes, that love is love. Chinese people do not push that. Chinese people do not, how can I say it? They do not agree with being outside of their race. They do not agree that love is love, and as long as you are a human being, that you should be able to marry whoever you want to marry. Nobody pushes that. Now, I'm not saying that the Caucasian race actually believes it, but they push it because of one reason is because of their lust. They want to have sex with any and everything, just like all of the other families. And guess what? Just like Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians would do the same thing if we didn't have these laws that tell us we can't do that. But we have laws saying we can't sleep with a dog, okay? We have laws saying that we can't sleep with our wife's mother or our wife's sister. Okay, we have laws that make us civilized. Okay, you may think that this nation that we're under is civilized, but they're not, because they sleep with dogs, they sleep with animals, they naturally want to have homosexual relationships. They do all of that, okay? But as God's chosen people, we are prohibited from doing those things, okay? We cannot do what they do, okay? No matter how much they tell you, as long as you bleed red, that you're just a human being and you should be able to live however you want to live, do whatever you want to do, live your life. Well, the God of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that's not how he told us to live, okay? That's not what he gave us. Okay? So let's read some scriptures in the Bible that shows the God of the universe is not with you sleeping with whoever you want to sleep with, or eating whatever you want to eat, or going off of your lust and your desires. He gave you rules to live by. And that's why we jammed up today, because we are a lawless people. And I say that because we are not living under the laws that our God established for us. We may live under the laws of the Edomites, the white nation, a so-called white man in America. We may live under the laws of the Chinese people if we live in China or wherever we're at on the earth. But we're lawless because as the family that God chose, as long as we're not keeping his laws, we're lawless. Okay? Because man's laws cannot precede God's laws. God said homosexuality is a transgression of the law. But the white race tells you that it's a alternative lifestyle. Their laws should not supersede the laws of God, the laws of the Hebrew God that created the heavens and the earth. Okay? So let's go ahead and get a couple of scriptures. Let's go to Genesis chapter 6. And we'll start at verse 1. Shalom, Bayana, Banyamyan. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal Atah, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Good to have you in the class. Aman Bayah Banyamyan. Okay, trooper. Aman. Okay. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Officer Yahweh Isupk. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Okay. Most High in Christ. So, we as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, as God's chosen people, we should be holy, which means separate, okay? We should be holy and separate because our power actually destroyed the earth once upon a time because we decided not to be holy. We decided to sleep with other families. And it's a very crucial thing that's happening to us in the year 2023. Every so often, it just seems like there's something new being pushed on us to try to keep us from serving our God and separating from everybody else. And today, it seems like it's this big rush of African people wanting to attach themselves to us. And it's mostly, I would say it's mostly, to me, it's mostly the men attacking our women, trying to get them to believe that they're kings and priests, kings and, priests and princesses or whatever. And they're just poor, piss-drinking Africans. They don't have, you know what I mean? Like, they take from our family. If we couldn't, they eat off of us. If we didn't have nothing to offer them, they would not be trying to attach themselves to us. They would not be trying to get all our women, you know what I mean, to take them in. But since they can eat off of us and make themselves look better than Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian men, they jump at the opportunity to deceive our women, to deceive our daughters. Okay, and the scripture said that we should not give our sons, or we should not give our daughters unto their sons, and we should not take their daughters unto our sons. We're supposed to be separate people. Okay, and when we start mixing and thinking God loves everybody, we begin to go off. We do that, we go into slavery. Our God wants us to be a separate and holy people to him. Okay? That means you cannot sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. They have to be blood of your blood, bone of your bone. They have to be of your family. Okay? Just because they're dark skinned does not mean they are part of this family. And I take this very seriously, man. You know, people are trying to, break down our gates, okay, and take what we have from us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Our women are very precious to us, okay? And when I see someone outside our nation, you know, trying to assimilate themselves with us and deceive my daughters and sisters, and it really upsets me, okay? And it also goes with the brothers, okay? These women out here from Africa or Sudan or Ethiopia or whatever, shaking their butt and trying to look like our sisters, okay? We have to like Officer Thawashab said in the class last night, we have to tame our members, okay? We can't do whatever we want to do. There's a certain way we have to live in the earth, okay? There's laws that we have to abide by. And being with another nation is breaking the law of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, okay? If a sister in my family is bringing forth seed from another family, my family languish now. That's one less soul that should have been brought in under, in my family, that now this heathen gets to bring, populate the earth more than my people. And I don't like that at all. Okay. Why? Because my God doesn't like it at all. Okay. So let's go to let's read about it in the book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 1. Okay. We can't be, part of the law is that we cannot be marrying outside our family. Okay. That's part of the law that our God gave us. Genesis chapter 6 and verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God, okay? The reason it's saying the sons of God, okay, I'll keep reading and then I'll break it down. Okay, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. So right now, okay, it's talking about the men that God chose. And this is what I was saying a little while ago. Just a few minutes ago, I was kind of trying to touch on the earth is populated and repopulated by the seed of the man. He puts it in the woman and she brings forth his seed. Okay, so just imagine an apple tree. Okay, an apple tree, just, a scenario. I know this ain't the perfect scenario, but listen. let's say there's orange trees and apple trees. They're on the earth, orange trees and apple trees. And these apple trees started putting their seeds into the orange trees or whatever. Or let's say they started putting their seed into, let's say the orange trees have their land and the apple trees have their land. They're separate. But now all of a sudden the apple trees start putting their seed over here in the orange trees land. And now that's going to take away from the orange trees. Now the orange tree, their population starts to dwindle. Now the apple tree, their population is starting to increase. So this is what the Bible is talking about. Okay? The sons of God, which is the sons of Adam, which is the sons of God because God chose them. These are the men that God chose. And God told them to stay within their family. Okay? Only marry and sleep with women in your family. Okay? Because like I said before, when God created the earth, he created multiple families. Okay, he chose Adam out of all those families. He chose Adam, okay, to break off and start to become holy and raise up a whole family all of his own. Okay? And that's why there's a bloodline in the Bible. It tells you Adam begot Cain and Cain begot this person and so on and so forth. That started the bloodline. That started the family that this scripture is talking about. And that family, God told them to be holy. Stay together, okay? Not to go outside the family. And that's what we decided to do. Okay, so verse 2, verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Men is just saying other nations. Okay? That the sons of God, this is a totally different nation. The son is dividing, it tells you in verse 1 that you had men and now you got the sons of God. Okay, it's totally separate, they're holy. The sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair. So obviously we saw these other women and just not being in the spirit that our power told us to be in, not being in the mind frame that he told us to be in, and stay within our family, we saw something else and we went to that, okay? And they took them wives of all which they chose. So they chose these wives. You understand? They chose, let's say, for an example, today, 2023, you have, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who are God's chosen people. Now, these laws that have been established for us tells us we can only sleep with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian women. The law that's given to us, God chose who we can sleep with. He chose for us. It's not my decision. I don't get to make the choice. The choice has already been made. I can choose who I want, but if I serve my God, I'm going to choose within my family. Okay? If I choose outside my family, then I'm making the choice, not God. God gives me the ability to say, as long as it's in this family, that's the choice you have. But if I go outside of that, then I'm making the choice. I'm deciding what's best for me or what I want to do instead of listening to my God and my power. When I go outside of my family, now I'm making the decision. and not God. Okay. Verse 2, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, the other nations, okay, that they were fair. They look nice. So what, Negro? Mortify your members. Control yourself. You can only choose a wife from within your family. She has to be in the 12 tribes. She can't be an Edomite or East Indian or Chinese or Arab. She has to be within your family. If it's outside of your family, she is the daughter of men. You are the sons of God. Okay? And they took them wives of all which they chose. They chose the wives. God didn't, they went outside of the choice that God had already made for them. And they chose something else. Okay, verse 3. And the Lord said, my spirit should not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 127 years. It's like 120 years. Okay? So this is just the beginning of God saying, you know what? I'm not always going to be fighting with these Negroes. I'm not always going to be, you know what I mean, just watching them go against the laws that I have laid down and established for them. Okay? Shalom, sir. Officer Kazak Damar. Shalom, sir. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. Okay. So there is laws that tells blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who they can and cannot sleep with. Okay. Just like there's laws that tell you what you can and cannot eat. There's laws that tell you what day you can and cannot say that is special to you. Okay? This is the whole thing with my family, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We have laws. We have a way, we have a culture. We have a way that our power told us we are supposed to live in the earth, and we are not following that. And that's what's jamming us up. That's what's got us all screwed up in the earth in 2023. We are making the choice on things that our God has already made choices on. We're going outside of what he has established for us. And one of the big things today is sleeping with someone outside your family. Okay? And we are being bombarded from every direction to keep us jammed up. There's a spirit that's in this earth that is just constantly trying to keep us on the bottom. But at the same time, there's a spirit that you will find in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohana that is trying to raise blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians up out of that oppression, out of the mindset that you can make choices in your life when God has already made choices for certain things in your life. Okay? We need to be following our power. We need to be adhering to the choices that he has already made for us. We need to agree to those choices and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and keep them. Okay? That's how we become better. That's how we get out of the conditions that we're in. Coming back and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments is the only way that we are going to get out of the ghetto, or we're going to get out of the barrios or off the reservations. Martin Luther King couldn't do it for us. Malcolm X couldn't do it for us. Barack Obama couldn't do it for us. Joe Biden can't do it for you. The only power that we have on this earth, in this dimension, is the power of the Most High God, Yahweh. And the only way we're going to be able to tap into that power is if we do what he says. We follow the orders. We follow what he has laid down for us to do. Other than that, we are going to be in a low state until we get it right. We are right back in that lowest state that our God raised Adam up out of. We're in a lower state. He raised Adam. You don't think before he raised Adam up, Adam was a grown man. He was grown. He had lived years already on the earth. And he was eating whatever he wanted to eat. He was sleeping with whoever he wanted to sleep with. He was behaving however he wanted to behave. And then a power opened his eyes. And he decided to follow that power. And that's what we should do today in 2023 as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people. We should decide to follow the power that can raise us up out of the dust, which is the ghetto. Raise us up out of the dust, which is homosexuality. Celebrating birthdays and Christmas. Raise us up out of the dust of drug use and drug abuse and make us civilized again. These laws, statutes, and commandments is the only thing that will raise Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians up out of the condition that they're in. The laws of this Bible, following what our God has laid down and chosen for you, that's the only thing that's going to get us out of this condition. Not you trying to figure it out on your own. Negroes have been trying to figure it out on their own for over, let's say, this recent captivity for over 500 years. When lo and behold, it's already been figured out for you right here in these records that thanks to Commanding General Yohana, we actually understand now. We actually can break down and understand them and see who they're meant for and what they're meant to do. And they're meant to raise you out of the dust, get you out of the ghetto, get you out of the bottom. Okay? And part of, like I said earlier, the big thing, there's many things that's jamming us up. But one of the big things is today, 2023, we think we can choose to sleep with whoever we want to sleep with, when our God actually destroyed the earth, okay, because we decided to sleep with whoever we wanted to sleep with, okay? So we have to start keeping these laws again and staying within our family, okay? All right, so let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 1. Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. Okay, this is just another scripture to try to show black people that you have a God, you have a power, you have an authority that is over your life. Okay? And that authority actually has rules, statutes, laws that it has laid down for you to follow. Things that you should and should not do, can and cannot do in the earth. That's it. I've said this before, like these laws that are contained within this Bible that was given to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we can't get away from them. You may not keep them, but there's a result of you not keeping them. Then you can't live in this earth as a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian and not keep God's laws and not have a result that comes from you not keeping the law. Vice versa. You can't live in this earth and keep these laws and not have something happen because you're keeping the laws. So we can't get away from the laws. You can either profit from keeping the laws or suffer from not keeping the laws. That's it. That's all we have. There's no gray area. There's no middle, there's no fine line. It's either you're keeping the laws or you're not. And either way, there's a consequence from keeping the laws or not keeping the laws. Period. That's the reality of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in the earth today. That's your reality. That's your reality in the third dimension. You can't get away from it. I don't care if it may look like you are, prospering and have a nice house or a nice car. Here's what we don't understand. Like, life is not just about you. Okay? Life is not about an individual. Okay? You might feel that way, you might live that way, but to live in this earth, it can't just be about you. Because if it was just about you, how would you raise a family if it's just you? How would you carry on your bloodline if it was just about you? If you live in the earth and it's just about you and everything you do is only about you, your bloodline is destroyed. Future generations are going to be destroyed because you are only living for you at this moment in this time. You're not thinking about the future. You're not thinking about your daughters and sons and their daughters and sons and their daughters and sons. You're only thinking about yourself. Right now, what drug you can put in your vein, where you can, what you can put your rod in, or what you can put in your belly. You're only thinking about you. You're not thinking about your future. And that's part of it is your future is you coming back in the future, your spirit coming back in the earth. You're going to be destroyed when you come back. But if you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you're setting yourself up for the future. And I understand because that's something that this society pushes on our people and tell them they only got one life to live, which you live one life at a time, but you come back. You know what I mean? Like you have to be in these classes constantly and get, you know what I mean, the understanding of how Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are supposed to live in the earth, and you know all the things that are contained within our laws, all the things that are contained within the reality of the third dimension. Okay? Okay, hold tight 1 second, Israel. Give me 1 minute. All right, Salakia, I'm back in the building. Okay, Salakia for that. You know, these laws are everything to us, man. We can't get away from them. We cannot get away from these laws. Like I said, you can either keep them and prosper, or you can not keep them and be cursed. That's the choice, okay? The Lord said he put before us, you know, life and death. Okay? So that's it. Okay, we got Officer Itazab in the building. Okay, joining the brother. I'm just, bringing out a few scriptures, because the big thing to me today, Itazab, in 2023, it seemed like all these Africans are bombarding our sisters. You know what I'm saying? I saw something on Facebook where, like, I can't even remember, but it was a nice sister, man. And and they showed this African guy, and it was like, whatever, after everything she's been through, she's still, willing to be submissive of this, that, and the third to her African queen, her African king, or whatever. Obviously, some guy from Africa or whatever, you know what I mean? All these piss-drinking poor Africans come over here and take, and take advantage of our sisters, who have a little something going for them. If these sisters didn't have nothing going for them like this, these Africans would not be dealing with them. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't want to have nothing to do with them. But as long as they can eat off them and get something from them, then, I'm your African queen, your king. You know what I mean? I'm royalty. You go back to Africa. I bet you if you went to Africa and saw where he lived, where he from, you'd be like, what the hell? I thought you was a king.
Living in huts.
Yeah. Like, that's the whole point, like, we not living in reality, man. Our sisters are so wanting to live in, this fantasy. If it's not the American dream, it's the African dream. You know what I mean? We just jammed up, man. We just jammed up.
And you know what's crazy, sir?
Come on.
Those same women would never call a Negro in America a king.
Right.
Those same women.
Right. So millions of black Negroes right here.
Right.
You had to go find an African?
Right.
Like, because there ain't that many Africans here, compared to how many, brothers are here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There ain't that many Africans here. So out of all these brothers that are right here in the ghetto or, not in the ghetto, you know what I mean? Like, there's different classes of brothers here. You had to go find an African? God dang, Altazar. Man, this thing is crucial out here, man. And it's like, if it's not one thing, it's another thing that keeps us, you know what I mean, divided instead of being holy to our power and us being together. You know what I'm saying? What you got?
It reminds me of the story with Simeon and Levi,
Mm-hmm.
and how their sister was going to marry a Hamite.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Not
them
to
brothers,
spoil it.
they felt like me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm pissed. I don't like this junk. You know what I mean? But it was never that she was going to marry him.
Mm-hmm.
He saw her, he liked her, and he took her.
The African?
Yeah. She didn't agree to that. It was like damn near rape. That's why they did what they did. I'm telling you, it was like rape. That's why they did what they did.
Right.
He took her, man.
Right.
Okay? But now, it's almost the same thing. These Africans are taking our sisters and daughters because they're lying to them. It's almost like you're taking her because you're lying. Somebody, you this and you that and you ain't nothing but a poor piss drinking African. Okay? Pisses me off, man. So, if you would, let's read Deuteronomy chapter 7. I want to start at verse 1 and just kind of go through it a little bit. And these laws, we should be separate, man. We are supposed to be separate. God chose for us. I just read in Genesis chapter 6 and verse 1, okay, through 3. And right there in verse 2, it says that the sons of God, okay, which is the sons of Adam, okay, saw the daughters of men. Now, the daughters of men are the other nations, their daughters, right? That they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Okay, they chose to go outside of what Adam taught them. What the power taught Adam taught them, and they decided to go outside of that, and now they're choosing wives instead of, you know what I mean, taking on wives that the power chose already for them. He said, stay inside this family. And they chose to go outside the family. Well, in 2023, the power of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians has chosen who you can and cannot sleep with. Okay? Now, you go sleep with an African, you just chose. You went outside of the choice that our power laid down for us, and now you're choosing. Now you're making a decision, and it's totally against everything that our power has already, you know what I mean, established for us in the earth, okay? We're not choosing here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Everything I do is based off what my God has already chose for me to do. You understand what I'm saying? So if you could read Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1, and if you got anything else you want to bring out, just go ahead and, you know what I mean? Go ahead and get it, Let me know. Shit.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Right. So why did God do that? Why did he put you in a land and kick everybody else out of that land? You know why? Because he didn't want you sleeping with them. He didn't want you you know what I mean, observing their gods or their, culture or whatever. He took them out of that land and put you in it because he didn't want you mingling with them. We're supposed to be separate, man. We're supposed to love Negroes, supposed to love Hispanics, Hispanics loving Native Indians, Native Indians loving Negro. That's your choice. That's who, our power put in that land. And now we are looking outside of ourselves for something that is not profitable to us. When has it ever been profitable for a black man or Hispanic or Native Indian man, woman, to be with somebody outside their nation? Our God didn't want to do it. What's the scripture with? He said he didn't want us to do it because we would start following their gods. Right. You know what I mean?
That's this one.
Is that here?
No. I know what you're talking about.
We'll get that one next, then. Okay, keep going.
I think that's actually in the Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiastes?
I think it's in here, so.
Okay. Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
Man, that's heavy, man. You know what? That's a law, Isupk. Right, but that's the law.
Right.
Like, we are not supposed to show any mercy unto them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who we should be showing mercy to?
Each other.
Yes, we need it.
Blacks, Hispanics.
So many blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need some love.
Right.
Like every time Commander General Yohana taught me how to love Negroes. Because I used to be that nigga that General Muhammad talked about. When he said, I can't stand niggas. Who's playing that music now? Niggas! That used to be me. I used to stand niggas. And now I'm learning how to be loving towards niggas. I don't care. The nigga come to me, man. Got 50 cents, I'm hungry, whatever. Man, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm learning how to love niggas. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, we need more of. We can't be looking outside of ourselves. We can't be looking outside ourselves and think we're going to actually grow or get better.
All right.
You know what I mean? Right. Our sisters say it all the time. I gotta learn to love myself. I had to, Well, look at it like this. Do that, but do it in a larger scale. Love yourself. Love. When you look in the mirror, love that Negro, and show it by loving other Negroes. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself. Give another Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian some self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? By loving them. Man, that's what we need more of, Isupk. Right. Keep reading.
Okay. Thou shalt not.
You know what? And man, Salaki, but I read that again. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to come a point where our power, he's done it before. Like, put us in a position where, all right, now you got to kill these people, and you know what I mean, and clean up the land, and now it's going to be yours. Right. And there was that one time when we didn't do it. Right. You know what I mean? And now it's going to happen again. When Yahushua cracked that sky, and these bombs, you know what I mean, drop, and then 100 years later, when you know what I mean, when the fires are out, we like to come down here and, you know what I mean, clean up the land and put them in their place, okay, and show no mercy to them, okay? When that time happens, I can't find the Edomite, hide it in a cave, and say, I'm going to bring you home and, treat you equal, and we'll just be one, right. No, nigga, if I'm not chopping your head off, I'm putting chains on you. You know what I mean? That's what no mercy. You know what I'm saying? They don't show us no mercy.
And if I could, sir, if I may,
go ahead.
David did it. You know what I'm saying? King David.
Right.
All Christians love to quote and love to say that how they gonna dance like David.
Right.
Well, before David danced, he slew a whole nation of people.
That's right.
And when they brought back a lamb and a cow or whatever have you, David told him to kill that too.
Right.
Like, you don't want to leave nothing.
Right. That's exactly the spirit we're supposed to be in. You remember what was the scripture when we went in supposed to kill the land, kill everything. God said, kill everything. And then who was he? Said, I hear some bad. Yeah. What the heck? What is going on?
Right, that was the Philistines.
Right.
A whole land, a whole some
right.
A tribe of Philistines. And,
we were supposed to kill everything. Nothing was supposed to be left alive. And these Negroes, here we go again. God chose a way to be, and you go outside of that. Now you choosing something. You making a choice. You are doing, and now we jammed up. Now we're dying. Every time we go against these laws, we die. Okay? 2023, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have to stop dying, okay, and start keeping these laws again so we can live, okay? Right. That's what we need to do. It's very imperative that we put down the weed, put away the fornication, put away the homosexual lifestyle, put away the pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, put away birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and come back to these laws, man, and let's live again. You understand what I'm saying? Let's live again. Because right now, all we're doing is existing. We just exist in the earth. We're not living, we exist. Okay? If you would, keep verse 3. Neither shall thou make marriages with them. Okay? Right there. I don't care if it's the Old Testament. Christ, the Old Testament and the New Testament is one thing. Christ came and he kept the Old Testament. Christ didn't come and lay down no new laws. He kept the Old Testament. He said, you know what I mean? One jot or one tittle, what was he saying? The law or the prophet. I did not come to do away with the laws or the prophets. Christ came to keep this thing right here that I just read in verse 3. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Christ came to keep this and teach you to keep it. Go ahead.
I can read this.
Go ahead.
This is the one you were talking about.
Come on.
Deuteronomy 20, verse 16 says, but of the cities of these people, which the Lord thy God doth give thee for an inheritance, thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth.
Right. That's when he told us he was putting us in rulership. Mm-hmm. He was getting ready to put us in rulership, give us our own land. We was going through wiping everything out, Isupk. Like once we got to a certain point, he just started killing everybody for us. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they're in that land? You need to be in that land. Go in there and kill everybody, everything. Read it from the top again.
Okay. But of the cities of these people, which the Lord thy God doth give thee.
Right. The city where these people were already at. Now our power is giving us that city, giving us that land, giving us that rulership. Go ahead. What happens when he give us that land?
Thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth.
Nothing. Everything's got to die. Everything, you know why? It needs to be cleansed. So when we go in there, none of our people will get jammed up by saying, you know what I mean? Having you save the life of this heathen, and next thing you know, yeah, you want him to be a servant, but next thing you know, you sitting around cooking in the kitchen with him, and he's telling you stories about, you know, his culture and his religion, and you listening, and you like, damn, that sound right. Next thing you know,
see, we can't eat for it.
Right. You know what I mean?
He's like,
yeah, man.
bacon?
Yeah.
Man, we can't eat that.
We can't even. Man, see, no, you know, next thing you know, you want to eat bacon. God said, kill everything so nothing can influence you over him. He's a jealous God. Okay, he knows that if anything is left alive, your weak black behind may fall for it. Okay, he knows what you need better than what you know. You know what I mean? He knows you better than you know yourself. Okay, he created you. Okay, keep reading.
All right. Thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth, but thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites, the Hivites and the Jebusites, as the Most High thy power hath commanded thee.
You heard what you just read? Like at first it was like kill everything. But then, kill everything, but let me get a little specific on you.
Right.
All these Edomites, I don't want to see one breathing. All these, Moab, I don't want to see one breathing. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we need to be spiritually today. We got to kill Christmas, Thanksgiving, Buddhism, Muslimism. We got to kill all that or we won't live. You know what I'm saying? We won't live, Isupk. We'll continue to die. Okay? It's a spiritual fight right now today, man. We got to kill all that stuff, man. We can't be doing what the Hivites and the parasites and all them doing. You know what I mean? We got to kill that. We got to separate. You know? And the big thing right here on Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3, our power say we are not to have marriages with them. Go ahead. Come on with it.
Because this is to your point.
Come on, man.
Absolutely to your point. Verse 18. That they teach you not to do after all their abominations, which they have done unto their gods.
Right.
So should ye sin against the Lord your God. When thou shalt besiege a city a long time and making war against it to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof.
Right. But that's the point. Like you leave them breathing, like the little story I kind of created. You know what I mean? Now they telling you about some dumb junk, and you get, you know what I mean? We want everything that we can't have. Okay, this nigga go into this story about this, that, and the third, and in your mind you're like, oh man, that sounds wonderful. Woo! You did that?
Right.
You said that, right?
You hold on. So you tell me you gotta cut down the tree and put Francis under it?
Come on, man. You lying to me, man. Come on, man. No, man, you ain't no. Y'all put. See, man, we you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we shouldn't want to do it.
Right.
Because, read it again. I mean, it said, read what it said, man. Because I know it said, we're going to go against our God now. Our God laid down something wonderful already for us. Go ahead.
Verse 18. That they teach you not to do after all their abominations.
Right. Whatever, you know what I mean, these heathens are doing, it goes directly against what our power has laid down for us. He didn't give it to them, Isupk. He gave it to you, Negro. So if another nation is trying to tell you something different than that, then you're going against your God. Keep going.
Okay. Which they have done unto their gods. So should ye sin against the Lord your God.
Right. If you do what they do to their God, then you sin against your God. Okay? Go ahead.
That's it.
Oh, see, it's just we can't follow. We have to be separate. And if we marry them, this scripture, what Isupk just read, tells you they're going to teach you their ways. You're living in the same house as them. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, they bringing Christmas presents home, and you looking at them. Looks nice. I mean, before you know it, they bring pork home, and you looking at it. Smells good. You can't marry them. You're supposed to kill them and leave nothing alive. Okay? And today, 2023, killing them means separating from them. Kill that vibe that you can be, we're all human, that we all bleed red, that love is love. Kill that crap, okay? Because that's all it is crap, and it's going to get you killed, okay? You're going to sin against your God. Go ahead.
Self-defense. So, and if I could add, like, you know what I'm saying, and put it in
layman's terms.
Yeah, but like, okay, so to make it so that some of these sensitive women can understand it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's who I listen. That's my target organ. That's my target audience tonight. And you know what I mean? God dang.
Sensitive women need to understand it. And here's how you're going to understand. Because, of course, it can happen to you.
Right.
But, of course, you don't ever see you in this situation.
Right. So
I'm going to make it so that you can understand it, right? Your children, when they go to school, and then they're celebrating their birthday. Some classmate is celebrating their birthday in class. And now they're getting all the glory and all the worship and the cupcakes and the candles and the balloons and the presents from all their students, all their classmates. Everybody writing a nice letter to them. Everybody singing to them. Your child is going to sit there and think, oh, I never get to do this.
Wow.
I don't get to celebrate my birthday because I'm an Israelite.
Yeah.
And they're going to want to do it.
Yeah.
Well, you got to cut that spirit out.
Yeah.
You got to dead that right off the bat.
Yeah, you got to unalive that.
Gotta unalive that.
And you know what I mean? Like the only way you're gonna keep that child's spirit in the vibe that it needs to be in is constantly pushing these laws, statutes, and commandments. They gotta see you doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you gotta talk to them and let them know, you know what I mean, what it is. They gotta be in these classes with you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta show them what it is. You know what I mean? You got to tell them straight up and down. You know what I mean? Like it might look good, but we've said, I've heard, parents say that before, but it wasn't about these laws. You know what I'm saying? It's about you want to get with an Israelite, but your mama say everything that look good ain't good for you. Go get with that African nigga, you know what I mean? He from Africa. He probably got, he got king blood in him, you know what I mean? Like what we've been taught is so outrageous and off to, it's gonna take a whole lot for us to get right. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take our power. Like I said earlier, Martin Luther King couldn't do it. Jesse Jackson couldn't do it. Malcolm X couldn't do it. Barack Obama couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take, the only way we're going to get right is following the power of the universe. Not following, okay. How do you follow the power of the universe? Go ahead.
You do what he said.
Right, but how do you know what he said? But we don't understand the Bible.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Okay, so
you gotta follow the men of the Lord.
There you go. Follow Commander General Yohana, okay, and the men in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. That's how we're gonna get right. Follow what I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? And it's such a crucial thing because I promise you, Itazal, it just seemed like our sisters don't want to hear what we got to say, man. Like, they don't want to hear what we got to say unless we tell them to flip it. Other than that, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. So back to Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. This is talking about our power telling us who we can and cannot deal with as a family. Okay. These are the laws. This is just one of the laws, but this is the law class. So I'm bringing out a law that our God gave Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This is a law. Listen, neither, okay, Deuteronomy 7:3, neither shall thou make marriages with them. Okay, and we just read earlier in the book of Genesis when it was saying how, you know, we chose the daughters of men. We chose that. And now again, our power is reiterating that we are not supposed to choose. We can't make marriages with them. He made a choice for us already. Marry within your bloodline. Okay, marry within your family. Okay. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son. If he's not in this family, he ain't getting my daughter. At least not, you know, I'm not giving, you know, it's 2023. You know, I don't get to, you know, really make the choice, but you ain't get, you know, my approval. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you what it is. You're a heathen, and don't mess with my daughter. Don't mess with my sister, okay? Nor his daughter shall thou take unto thy son. So I don't care how fat that Ethiopian booty is. I'm not letting her deal with my son. I'm not letting my son deal with her. Okay? Verse 4. For they will turn away thy sons from following me. Okay? How man, you know what I just thought about. But I'm going to hold it. But it says, they shall turn thy sons away from following me. Come on, man. How can a woman do that to a man? Yeah, yeah. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So to unalive that, I can't even allow her to deal with my son. Because I can't blame you, though, but you know what that is? That's why I said it reminded me of Adam. Now Eve was of us, but still, she brought some outside crap home. You know what I mean? It's like bringing, the Lord already said, I can't eat pork. You know we can't eat pork. But you're going to bring some pork in this house and seduce me and try to get me to eat it? That's what's going to happen if our sons deal with Ethiopian women or deal with Arab women or Chinese women. Next thing you know, you come over to your son's house and there's some Buddha thing sitting on the darn. You're like, I never taught you this. But there's Buddha. You come home and next thing you know, there's a white Jesus on the wall. I never taught you this. Why? Because he became weak. Okay? And to help him stay strong, I got to tell him he can't deal with no other woman outside my family, outside our family. Okay? And vice versa for the sisters. Okay? Because next thing you know, she'll be doing some crazy stuff. I don't know what the heck them Africans doing. Or, you know, or what them Chinese people or Arabs doing. But next thing you know, she'll be following that, Isupk. And the only way I can unalive that is to not let her deal with them. Not give my sons, not give my daughters to their sons, and not take their daughters onto my sons. Okay, that's a law from our God. That's a law. We're not supposed to do that. Okay? That they may serve other gods. So the anger of the Lord will be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. Suddenly, that's how it happened, Isupk. Suddenly, we were on a slave ship.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like it took a long time.
Right.
Suddenly, we was on a slave ship. You know what I mean? Suddenly, we got destroyed. And it's all because we went off. Now, I don't know what the heck we did or what we were doing, but we went off, Isupk. We went off. Okay? And suddenly, we were on slave ships. Suddenly, we were over here in the ghetto, on the reservations. Okay? And that's what happens when we decide not to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments that our power laid down for us. Okay? You got anything you want to bring out or add? If not, I could read verse 5, okay? Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 5. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. Okay? So today, like I said, we're not in a position to do that, but what we can do is cut down Christmas, cut down Thanksgiving, cut down birthdays, cut down eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Destroy that. Cut down that Christmas tree and destroy it with fire if you have to. If she bring it in my house, you know what I'm saying? Verse 6, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto him above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Okay? That's the whole point, man. We have to, why is it so difficult to accept that the God that created the universe chose a Negro? He chose you, man. Now all you got to do is choose him and choose the things that he told you to choose. Okay? What you got, Zab? Okay. No sweat. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 26. Chapter 7. You know what? We're not going to go there. Don't. Let me go back. Let's go to that's fine. Let's go where it tells us that the Lord gave us before us life and death. He set before us life and death. Where's that at? In Leviticus, Deuteronomy. Right back to Deuteronomy. Set before us life and death. Man, we could have. Man. Yeah, that's what I was like. Okay, I could have just kept going. Shit. All right. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
Right. This is the choice that our power had already made for us. And he said it before you. Like, you choose what I choose and you live. And one of the things he chose for us is for us not to sleep with anybody outside our family. Okay? That's life and death. You die when you go and sleep with another people, another family. Why? Because now you are going to serve their God. And the wrath, the wrath of our God is going to be kindled against you. Okay? Where you at? Chapter 30.
Verse 19.
Okay. Keep going.
Verse 20. That thou mayest love the Most High thy power, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, in the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Most High sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them.
Yeah, that's heavy, man. That is heavy. That thou mayest love the Lord thy God. Because if you marry that African woman and she make you weak, you're going to love her and her God. But now our God is saying, don't do that so you can continually to love me. Because I know you little, I know you, you know what I mean? You go get with that and you're going to fall in love with that over me. And I created this goddamn place. But that thing is going to make you fall in love and now you're going to be serving something else. Don't do it so that you can love me. Don't take their daughters onto your sons so your son can love me. Don't give your daughters to their sons so your daughters can love me. If you do that, then they're not going to love the God of this Bible. Okay? They're not going to love the power that created the universe. They're going to love something else. So don't do it. Don't give your son or your daughter to them. Don't take their daughters to your sons. Okay? Read it again, Itazal. Where are you at? 19? I call heaven and earth to record this day against you. Okay? And this is what he's doing, is telling you laws, telling you what you can and cannot do. And he's calling heaven and earth against you today. You're agreeing to this. Right. This is this is the covenant. This is the contract. You're agreeing to this. I'm calling heaven and earth, all the angels, the Most High, everybody to witness this thing. Right. That if you do it, then I'll put you on top. But if you don't do it, the curses will come. What did we just read? Suddenly. Mm-hmm. It will come upon you suddenly. Before you know it, you will be in the ghetto. You'll just wake up one day and be on a slave ship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with crack pipe in your mouth.
Imagine that. Suddenly. Yeah, suddenly. That's heavy. Because niggas don't grow up, so like Negroes do not grow up thinking he's going to smoke a crack pipe. Right. It's just one day he woke up, like it hit him, I'm smoking crack. You know, one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, you know what? Reality just hit me. I got AIDS. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Suddenly it's going to hit you. One day you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, you know what? Reality just hit me. I got life in prison. Mm-hmm. Suddenly it's going to hit you because you're going against these laws, statutes, commandments, man. And I said, I try to put it like this, there's no fine line. You either keeping the laws and get blessings, or you're not keeping the laws and you get curses. That's it. There's no, as long as I treat people nice, and I'm nice to people, and I don't look down on other people, and I can eat this pork and be okay. No, Negro, you fooling yourself. Okay? But listen, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. And I said this before you got here. A lot of people they think about themselves. You're not thinking about your daughter or your son, their daughters and sons, their daughters and sons. All you're thinking about is right now, your belly, your car, your house, your bank account. You're not thinking about, the generations that are going to be. Just because you are okay in this generation, this life, that don't mean, your son or your son's son or the future generation is going to be okay. Because you're still the bottom class people. At any moment, your son can get killed from an Edomite just because he felt like it. He could become a Trayvon Martin. You have to think about we got to teach you the big picture. That if you are not the ruling class people, you're nothing. If you're not the ruling class on the earth, which God told you would be if you keep the law, then you're destroyed. Because at any moment, the people who are the ruling class They can decide to do with you whatever they want to do with you. They can come and gentrify your neighborhood. They can come and shoot up the neighborhood. They can do whatever they want to you because you're not the ruling class. And that's the big picture. Now, just because at this moment they're allowing you to be a good slave and have a back-breaking job and do 1,000 hours a week, and you get a nice car, you get a nice house, you get some nice clothes, you get to go out and eat all the time and take pictures of yourself and you know what I mean, and get high and be happy. But at any moment, that can end, even for you. It can end. So you're not looking at the big picture. Black supremacy, that's what you need to be. That's what you need to be on. That's the only thing that's going to save us. Black supremacy. And that's what the God of this Bible is about. Black people ruling. Negro supremacy. Israelite supremacy. That's what this Bible is about. And if you're not on that, then you are nigh unto destruction. You are nigh unto getting shot down in the streets, okay? Being on crack, whatever it is. You are just that close to that. You need to be on Negro supremacy, Israelite supremacy, so none of that happens to us. That's the only way that we're going to be able to protect ourselves, by having our own land. What's the scripture say that he'll give us? We just read it. There's so many scriptures that say like he'll give us our own land, and we'll have gates and we'll dwell safely. Okay, that's the only way it's going to happen. Okay, if other than that, we are destroyed. We are just at any moment, the other nation can do whatever they want to do. Okay. And, you know, the scripture we just read said that not to marry or not to give yourself, your sons or your daughters to the other nations so that we can love our God. Right. So now let's read how to love God. What's that in the book of John? Give me John to show how to love God. Okay. Because if we don't, loving God keeps us from loving God will get us out of the ghetto. Okay. Loving God will keep your sons and daughters safe. Okay. Loving God is basically loving yourself. Because if you love God and do what he say, he's going to put you in a position to be the ruling class people on earth. If you really love yourself as a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you would love God and do what he said. Okay? So first we got to know what it means to love God. Let's read that in the Bible. Okay? How to love God. I had a whole page on it. Give me, what is it? 1 John 5, chapter 5. What you got?
5 and 3.
Yeah, 5 and 3. That sounds right.
All right. The book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of the...
Start at verse 2.
You just started 1?
Might as well, shit.
The book is 1 John, chapter 5, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Whosoever believeth that Yahweh Jesus is the Christ is born of God, and everyone that loveth him that begat loveth him also that is begotten of him. Verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God. Okay, so verse 1, whosoever believeth that Jesus is the Christ is born of God, and everyone that loveth him begot love. It's like everyone
that loveth him that begot loved him also that is begotten of love. Okay, so everyone that gives love, that's the begot, love him also that is receiving love, begotten love of him. So if you give or you do what Christ taught, then you love God. And who gave you that thing that Christ taught you? God did. Christ gave it to you. What you got from Christ, you're going to give it to other brothers and sisters. You understand? Okay, keep going.
Okay. By this we know that we love the children of the power.
Right, that's what I just said. If you do what Christ taught, then you know you love God. Because Christ taught us to love one another. Christ taught us these laws, statutes, and commandments. Christ taught us the big picture, not, individuality. Okay, keep going.
Okay. By this we know that we love the children of God when we love God and keep his commandments. For this is the love of God.
For this, what Isupk is about to read, for this is the love of God. This is how, if you are Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, listen, I'll take it a step further. If you're a piss-drinking African, if you are a dog-eating Chinese, okay, if you are a devil Edomite, you can still love God too. It's just a difference, you know what I mean? Like, you have to love God by serving me. I love God by serving him. You understand? Right. So read it from the top again, right there, verse 3.
Verse 3. For this is the love of God.
This is the love of God. I just want you to get, I want them to hear it. Like this, what Isupk is about to read is how you love God. Because Negroes, your mama, your grandmama, your daddy, everybody has been walking around on the earth talking about they love God, Isupk. Right now, today, you go outside in the class last night with Officer Tawashab. He told us, he said, I was coming into class. He said, I just decided to, ask some random brothers and sisters if they love God. And everybody was like, yeah, man, I love God. He's like, well, come in the class. No, I don't love God. No, you keep that, brother. You know what I mean? Like, and I told him, even like, this is why, just aside, but when we try to hand out flyers or when we're at camp, and whenever they see us, guess what they see? Because his topic last night was being disciplined, mortify your members, okay? Being disciplined, okay? And the reason why he asked that brother if he loved God, and that brother said, yeah. But when he said come into the class, it was no. Because when they see you, dog, you know what they see? Discipline. They see you changing and disciplining. No, I'm not. I love that taste. I remember how it tastes, but I'm not eating it. Discipline. Okay? Oh, I love birthday cakes, but I'm not going to celebrate a birthday. Discipline. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to have nothing to do with that. Nobody wants to have anything to do with discipline. They want to be able to do whatever they want, when they want, how they want. And when they see you, they see discipline, so they go the other way because they want to be lawless. I said it earlier. I don't know if you was here or not, but as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are lawless as long as we're not keeping these laws. Because these laws was given to us, nobody else. You might keep the law of the stop sign and, paying your taxes and stuff like that, but these laws supersede Edomite law. Right. These laws supersede man law. So as long as we're not keeping these laws, we're lawless. We're a lawless people, Isupk. And that's why we can't be civilized and rule the earth.
Right.
Only civilized people can rule. Well, I can't say that. That's not true because Esau is not civilized. But the Lord put him in that position for now. But you know what I mean? We got to keep these laws. You know what I'm saying? And to love God, like all these people say, this is how you love God. Read it from the top again. I'm going to let you go.
Verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
His commandments are not grievous. I said it the other day. The brother man over me, he was kind of like, well, you know, they are hard, you know, but the Lord is saying they're not hard. You know what I mean? It might be hard in the beginning, but all you have to do is build up your discipline. You have to want to love God. Build up your discipline. If you are addicted to pork, bacon, taper it down. You have bacon every day, you know, okay, I'm going to eat it every other day. Now I'm going to eat it, you know, once a week until you get to the point where you don't want to eat pork no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you smoke crack, you got to taper it down. You've been spending, you know, $200 a day, spend $100 a day. Then, you know, take it down to, you know, $20 a day. You know, nobody's asking you to, you know what I mean, like, to be unreasonable. It's an addiction. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You need to, you know, help. And we're here to give you help. However, we're going to figure out a way to help you stop smoking crack. Stop being a homosexual. Stop, you know what I mean, eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. We're going to help you figure it out, but you have to want to figure it out. Right. You got to want to, you know what I mean? You got to want to actually love God. Okay, loving God is not running your lips saying talk, or running up and down the aisleway in a church, falling out, foaming at the mouth. No, that's fake. Loving God is having discipline, right? Not doing what He said not to do, and doing what He said to do. You know what I mean? What we got coming up? The feast. What we got coming up?
Tabernacle.
Is it the tabernacles?
First fruit.
First fruits. That's it right there. Right. Okay. Right now we are in the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which our power gave us a law that for 7 days you gotta not eat anything with leaven in it. Okay. And you have to eat a piece of unleavened bread every day. That's a law. And that's what we're about, these laws. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, I have to repeat or mimic what the men over me say. Even if we're not 100% right, Atazar, we are rehearsing the righteous acts. We are trying to figure it out. And we are trying to show our power that I will do whatever you say. I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? I might not be in rulership, just like we read earlier. Well, I don't know if we read that one, but it says that the land you go to possess it, you got to keep these laws. I don't care if you're on the reservation, you got to keep these laws. I don't care if you're in rulership, you got to keep these laws. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you are on an island somewhere by yourself, you got to keep these laws. Okay? That's what it's all about, and that's what we're trying to do. We are trying to get Black people out of the condition that they're in, and the only way it's going to happen is if we get the power, the unseen power of the fourth dimension to recognize what we're doing righteously. Because he see that, he see the death part. He see the death that we've chosen. Now we're trying to choose life. We're trying to live. We're trying to have Israelite supremacy on the earth. Okay? And there's no way we're going to get it. Moses didn't give us rulership. We got it through what Moses told us to do from our power. Just like today in 2023, Commanding General Yohana is not going to give us rulership. We're going to get it by listening to what he said our power told us to do. He's teaching us. We go out and teach other Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And we bring our family home, okay, to these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the only way we're going to live again. That's the only way to love God, is to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay, you got anything you wanted to bring up? Anything you want to add? Okay, well, with that, we're going to go ahead and end the class. Like I said, we are in the, what day are we in? We're in the third day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Going into the fourth. Tonight, so we're in the fourth day. Mm-hmm. He made the night and then the day. Okay, so we're in the fourth day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. The closing is Sunday, April 9th.
April, I think that's the 8th Sunday.
The closing for the...
Yeah, that's the 9th.
Right.
So the closing is on the 9th night? I mean, it's on the night of the 9th?
Yes, which is Sunday, sundown.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we're going to, do anything here at the school or not. I got to get with Captain Shawariala and the other officers, okay? But the law is for 7 days and nights, we are to eat nothing with leaven in it, okay? And we are commanded to eat a piece or some unleavened bread. Every day for 7 days, you got to eat unleavened bread. And all it is just remembering what our power did for us. All these days all the days that we observe in this book is basically remembering what our power did for us. Okay? Passover. We're remembering he passed over us to kill the Egyptians. The Feast of Unleavened Bread, we're remembering we didn't have any leaven. We had to go out into the wilderness and eat unleavened bread. Okay? The Feast of First Fruits is him requiring that, we remember he's blessing us with this. Okay? It's all remembrance. Okay? All us loving God and praising him and thanking him for what he's done for us. You know what I mean? And that's it, man. We have to... That's the love of God, okay? That's how you love God, by, giving him the praise and the worship that he desires and deserves, okay? So with that, we're going to go ahead and end the class. If you got anything else you wanted to add? Okay, so with that, Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're under Commanding General Yohana, not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group, okay? And since 1969, we have been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they are God's chosen people. We are the people that the power of the universe chose to rule the universe, okay? And the only way we're going to get that rulership is if we come back to our power, okay? So with that, what you got?
That's right. Pay your tithes.
Pay your tithes.
Passover was glorious.
It was.
If you wasn't there, I feel bad for you. Slightly.
I tell you what, there's always the Feast of First Fruits. Okay?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Feast of Tabernacle is going to be in the UK. They're going to hold it in the UK. If you plan on, go
ahead.
If you plan on being making it in the building for the Feast of Tabernacles, you might want to start getting your passports together, things like that. You know what I mean? And, or another option. I was told by a brother from the UK, you can go to Esther Visa. where you can purchase a visa for a limited time, right? So they'll give you access to whatever country you want to go to, but it's for a limited time. You know what I'm saying? And all they ask for is your it's the fee for the actual visa, and you have to have 2 forms of identification. I believe your birth certificate and your ID.
Yeah, if you got that shit, you might as well just get the passport.
Might as well get the passport. Only thing is, now we got time now, but if you're in a rush, if you're in a rush, it's easier to get a visa.
I'm gonna tell you like this too, also though. That passport, you can get it in one day, but you got to go down to the place in Miami. I forget what it's called, but there's a passport place in Miami, in Brooklyn. I went. That's where I got my passport from, because I was trying to go on this trip and I got jammed up at the last minute, and it was like, you owe this, that, and the third, and you know it's going to take a while. But they said if I go down there, I could pay it right there and get the darn passport. I got it that day. You know what I mean? So there's a spot in Miami you can go and get your own passport.
So also, Captain Kapash is making a trip to Dominican Republic, which is a hop, skip, and a step from Florida, right? So, you know, I was looking into going. I told Cap about it, Captain Shawar about it. I sent it in the group chat.
It's in our group chat?
The Facebook group chat. So, you know what I mean? That's another trip. You might want to hop on them passports.
That's not crazy.
You can get it
I got my passport. All I got to do is start using it.
Start using it. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have the time, or if you can't make, so you can't get the passport, you can try the visa. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard. They do a background check, a criminal background check. If you don't have any criminal record or whatever, then you're good. But yeah, so that's coming up about I think it's the 14th they leave
for Dominican.
For the Dominican Republic.
14th of this month?
Yes.
Oh shit, they right on it, goddamn.
So yeah.
What do you? Okay, I'll let you know. All right. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and end the class. Like I said, Shalom Yahbashim Yahshua Brakatham to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shemartha Ba'ashim Yahweh to the sisters. Israelite School of UPK. Like, subscribe, Florida, UPK.
They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my actions. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just also go stand in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see the with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog.